Hey guys, how's it going? Eminem Gaming here, and today we're back with another video, and today we are going to be talking about Sony's E3 2017 press conference and a few games that were shown in the pre-show. Not everything, but yeah, a few games that I thought were interesting from the pre-show. Now, I apologise about not doing the video last night as soon as the conference ended that I usually do, but it was so late in the UK that I was absolutely shattered. So I just left it until today. I hope you enjoy it though, guys, and I guess it gave me a little time to reflect on the conference, which is a good thing, I guess. But yeah, gonna give you my thoughts, good, bad, and yeah, recapping everything. So without further ado, let's just get into the video and let's start off with the pre-show, which was surprising because usually the pre-shows for these conferences are just kind of to kill a bit of time. They kind of talk about games and whatever, but you never usually get a release date or anything, or new gameplay. So I was pretty happy to see that there was a couple of games that particularly interested me that were shown there. First off, Gran Turismo Sport. Now, on the positive side, the game looks beautiful. It looks absolutely crazy detailed. I watched Forza 7's gameplay yesterday, and I was blown away by it. I thought it looked absolutely stunning. But I can't lie, it kind of looks as good, if not better. It was that impressive to me personally. Now, that's the positive. The negative, again, I'm not too sure on this. It's only a rumour going around. There might not be like a career mode in it. If that's true, I don't care how good the game looks, I probably will not be picking it up. And the second thing that really worried me, and it's getting a little bit worried now with Gran Turismo, I'm not going to lie, is no concrete release date. Like, they put a release window of fall 2017, but they did that last year with Gran Turismo. And I can't lie with you guys, I think it's going to be delayed to 2018, and that definitely sucks, in my opinion. Now, it might not be, and I'll be so happy if it's not, and if it's got a career mode. But if it's not delayed, that's great. But I can just see this game getting another delay because it wasn't on the main stage at E3. That's always a little bit worrying. If you're really confident, surely you'd show it. And yeah, they can't even put like a firm release date on it. It's like, well, it's coming in the fall. So that's a little bit worrying to me. Next up, Crash Bandicoot. Now, again, another bittersweet moment. The great part about it is Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot's coming out. It's coming out June 30th. In a couple of weeks. I'll be there day one. You know I'll be there day one. I cannot wait for this game. I've been waiting so long for this collection, and I just can't wait for it. The only thing that I will complain about, and was a little bit, left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth, was Activision came out and said there's going to be a surprise relating to Crash Bandicoot. Now, in my mind, it might be a Spyro because it, maybe a little bit tied together, a PlayStation IP. There might be Crash Team Racing coming as an add-on or whatever. And it was a playable character, which is cool and it's really fun, but it wasn't what I was hoping for. So a little bit bittersweet in my opinion. But now let's get into the main conference. Let's talk about the main games that everyone's, hyped for. And this is in order from everything that they show, not from like best to worst, just in the order that they've shown it. So straight off, they started with Uncharted: The Lost Legacy. Now, to me personally, I don't know. I love Uncharted. Technically, I've already got the Lost Legacy. Get my words out. I've already got it because I got the season pass with Uncharted 4. So I've already got the game. I'll be there day one. I can't wait for it. And the game looks beautiful. It looks stunning. My problem is, why did they start the show with it? Not a problem with Uncharted, but the Lost Legacy, even though it's its standalone game, it's not a full price Uncharted game. It's not Uncharted 5. It's a big game, but it's not. Do you know what I'm trying to say? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but it's it's a standalone expansion. I don't know if that starts a conference. In my opinion, that wouldn't start a conference. So even though it looked beautiful, I love like the music and the ambience and everything. Even though they did have a problem at the conference with audio for some people, there was a lot of lag uh, uh, going on and stuff with the live streams. So yeah, they definitely need to improve that. I think last year I had no problems, like the audio, the sound, everything was on point. This year it wasn't, and they do need to improve that next year. Be a little bit more professional, be a little bit more prepared, in my opinion. But next up, again, another DLC, though it looked pretty damn good. Horizon Zero Dawn, The Frozen Wilds, coming 2017. Now, I've heard a few people say that this is an expansion and not just a DLC. I don't know. I cannot comment on that, whether it's true or not. That's what some people are saying. All I know is the game looks gorgeous. It looks absolutely beautiful. I can't wait to play this. If it is an expansion, well, yeah, I'll be over it day one. So that's coming 2017. A nice bit more content for Horizon. I absolutely love Horizon, so yeah, I'll definitely welcome that. Next up, now this in my opinion could have started the conference, and maybe should have, because I think it was one of the standout games of the conference, and that is Days Gone. This game looks so good. Like, they really have improved it from E3 2016. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I'm hyped for Days Gone. You know I was hyped for it from 2016. But I think Sony may have just gone back to the drawing board a little. They haven't completely revamped it, but they've gone to the drawing board a little bit. The graphics look 10 times better, in my opinion, from what I saw. I rewatched the gameplay on YouTube without all the lag and the buffering and all that sort of stuff, and the game looks crazy good. Now, I really love pretty much everything about this conference. I think a big problem with Days Gone 2016's reveal was it had a cool story, it had a cool concept, but maybe there was too much, look how many zombies we can get on screen. This was completely the opposite. It showed you the bandit camp that you're a part of or whatever. It showed you, the motorbike section, how, you've got boosts on your motorbike. You can jump over things. It shows the open world aspect of it. It shows that, yeah, there are these, infested or infected or whatever, but the human enemies are just as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than the infected or whatever. So yeah, I really like that, the way they did it. I love the stealth gameplay. I was a little bit worried, is it just a run and gun game? No, the stealth gameplay is there. So many, like, it was just crazy. I absolutely so hyped about Days Gone. I'll be getting it day one, whenever the hell it comes out. But that's the only little issue I had with it. Gameplay looks amazing. You can tell Sony Bend has really increased the quality level of Days Gone. You can tell that Sony's added to the studio, but there's no concrete release window, release date. It's just whenever the hell it comes out, which in a way is good. But that could be 2018, that could be 2019, that could be 2020. We just don't know. But in my opinion, I'm always of the mind, just let the developers, take their time on the game. So, yeah, looks awesome. The only gripe I have about it is no release date. Next up, Monster Hunter World. Now, this game looked, again, really good. Now, this is coming... it's not exclusive, it's a multi-plat, will be coming to the Xbox One and PC at a later date. A little bit surprised it's not coming to the Nintendo Switch, if I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'd assume it'd sell more on the Switch than the Xbox One. I could be wrong, but the game looked crazy good. I'm not even like a huge Monster Hunter fan, but this game looked really fun. yeah, and I can't wait for this game. It's going to be, yeah, it's going to be top quality. Again, a lot of these games, absolute quality in my opinion. Next up, the big one. For me, this was the big one, as you may have watched on my channel for a while. One of my favourite games ever is Shadow of the Colossus. And they only went on stage and announced a remake, remaster. It looks too good, in my opinion, to be a remaster. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care if Bluepoint's calling it a remaster. That is a remake. That looks Ratchet and Clank quality remake, in my opinion. It looked incredible. Simply incredible. I think the best thing you can say about it is when I played it on the PS2. I haven't even played it on the PS3, to be honest with you. But when I played it on the PS2, that's how, in my mind, the game looked. It didn't look like that, but it now does. And I cannot wait to play this game. Coming 2018, I'll always put a negative, but there's no negative whatsoever for that game. Whenever it's ready, it will come. And yeah, I'm over the moon. Shadow of the Colossus remake is coming 2018. And I can't wait for this game. I am really hyped about this game. So for me so far, this is the game of the show. Maybe a little bit biased, as we all are, to our favourite games. But yeah, it's game of the show for me so far. Next up, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. I'm not a fighting game guy. I like the Marvel universe. I may pick it up. Probably not day one though. Probably, pick it up on sale or something like that. Just because I'm not a fighting game guy. I suck at fighting games. And even if I didn't, I find them pretty boring. But it's got a story mode and it looks pretty fun. And I like Marvel games, so maybe in the future I'll pick it up. That'll be coming September 18th. So another September game. Pretty packed this year. What a fantastic year it's been for games. But next up, Call of Duty World War II. Looked beautiful. I love, the boots on the ground combat. It's what everyone asked for. It's what everyone's, now getting. Even people who don't like it are even saying like, well, respect Call of Duty because it actually does look good. Again, it's one of those things. It was similar to the Microsoft conference. It's like, yeah, the games are really cool, but I want to see exclusives. I'd have rather seen The Last of Us. I'd have rather seen maybe From Software's game than Call of Duty. But when you drop hundreds of millions on marketing deals, it makes sense while they show them. So Call of Duty World War II looks fantastic. Now, the VR section, so they started off strong with Skyrim VR. Now, I don't know if this will be like an add-on or a DLC to the remaster that they've got for the PS4. Will it be a separate game? Is it going to... I don't know what it is. Is it going to be a $60 game for the VR? If so, I'll probably get it. But I'm thankful that I didn't get the remaster just yet, because I want to play Skyrim again, but I haven't got it just yet. So maybe it was the smart move to wait. But Skyrim VR looked good. Star Child... Now, this, to me, was a bit strange because it was like a side-scroller in VR. It's like, why? Do you know what I mean? But anyway, looked okay. Obviously, more of an indie game. The Impatient, now, that looks terrifying. Like, I'm not going to lie. It looked very creepy. I don't know if I would want to be stuck in a VR helmet with it on, but I may try it. You know what I'm saying? So... the Impatient VR looked very good. Very good horror game. Final Fantasy 15 VR. Not what I expected, I'm not going to lie. It's a fishing game. For some reason, they thought... do you know what everyone loved about Final Fantasy 15? No, it wasn't the gameplay, it wasn't the story, anything. It was the fishing. Like, I don't know why they thought that would be a great idea. It looks fun, though. Depending on the price, I may have to try it just because... Fishing, I don't know, but Final Fantasy VR, Monster of the Deep, coming September 15th, so not too long. So it hopefully, if you got the season pass, it'll be free. If not, buy it separate for a couple of pounds. Next up, Bravo Team VR. Now, I many times said before, I'm not a SOCOM fan. If I was, I'd be fuming. I'd be absolutely fuming because there was a few rumors going around that Bravo Team may be codename for SOCOM, and that a SOCOM was coming back. Now, if I was a SOCOM fan and I saw Bravo Team VR, a new IP for VR, I'd be pretty mad. I'm not gonna lie. In my opinion, the game looked actually fantastic. It looked quality, and that's the problem with VR. It's a really cool technology, it's really innovative, it's really unique. The problem is it doesn't have the software to back it up. I think they showed some pretty damn decent software here, in my opinion. And finally, Moss VR. Now, this was a game with a mouse. Not for me, to be honest with you. It's a side scroller with a mouse. I don't know why you'd want to play that, but hey, it's options, and options are better than no options, in my opinion. So, hey, it's there. Just briefly on the VR section, I think they spent too long on it. They could have shown longer, in-depth gameplay videos. They could have had a teaser for maybe From Software's game or Sucker Punch's game, or maybe even just a little bit of a Last of Us. Not even new gameplay, but maybe a little trailer. But there was nothing, and they kind of spent, in my opinion, a little bit too long on VR. But on the flip side, as a VR owner, I'm kind of happy that they're at least taking it somewhat seriously. Like, it's not going to just die after a year. Hopefully not. And hopefully it continues to sell pretty damn well. Next up, back onto a big AAA game, and that is God of War. This game looks insane. Like, it looked great last E3, and it doesn't look any worse now. I love the gameplay. Like, one of the few worries I've had about this game was how the hell, with this over-the-top shoulder sort of Last of Us type of camera angle, do you get like the God of War gritty, hundreds of enemies on the screen at once sort of gameplay? And they've done it. I don't know how they've done it, but they have. Well, they've done it, because the game looks absolutely crazy, in my opinion. Look terrifying, you know. There's so many of those big troll demons, whatever they're called, from the first gameplay. Now, I thought that was a boss, so the fact that they're all over the place tells me that we're going to have some epic boss battles, just like all the other God of War games. So to me, that is absolutely perfect. The game is coming early 2018. Now, I'm not a betting man. If I was, I'd be putting quite a lot of money on that being March 2018. It wouldn't surprise me. Now, this is a conspiracy theory or whatever, so take it with a grain of salt. I have no inside information whatsoever, but it wouldn't surprise me if the game is done, but they're waiting to release it alongside when they usually release every single God of War game, in March. So it wouldn't really surprise me if that's the case. The game looks incredibly polished, and that huge monster serpent, world serpent that they had right at the end, I just got flashbacks to God of War 3. Oh, it's just incredible, and I cannot wait to just get my hands on this game. A little bit longer. Some of us were hoping for a November release date, but I can definitely wait. Hopefully to 2018 March prediction. So yeah, cannot wait for this game. God of War, it's going to shut everything down when it comes out. Everything, whatever I'm doing, gets thrown to one side, because when God of War comes out, it's over. Do you know what I mean? So next up, Detroit Become Human. Now, I really like the gameplay. I like the different options. Obviously, it's a David Cage game, so it's a little bit pompous or whatever, but I loved the different options that it had. I loved, you know, all the different choices. You know, everyone can die, everyone can live. There's so many options in between. It looks like you're going to have different story arcs for different characters, similar to Heavy Rain. It reminds me a lot more of Heavy Rain than maybe Beyond Two Souls, which is, in my opinion, a good thing. I prefer that over that. So yeah, pretty damn decent conference so far. Next up, Destiny 2 exclusive content. Again, I don't want to be that guy, but Anthem has absolutely ruined Destiny for me. Sadly, not to say Destiny doesn't look great, doesn't say Destiny doesn't look fun, but to me, Anthem is a Destiny killer in my opinion. Like I can't look at Destiny the same now that we've got Anthem coming along the way, which is a similar sort of game. And even if it's not, I'd rather have Anthem. So, yeah, pretty. But it looked cool, and again, it's a bit of 50-50. I'm a little bit torn on it. It's like I can understand why Sony wants exclusive content because you've dropped hundreds of millions of dollars into marketing rights. At the same time, it kind of sucks for the Xbox gamers who have to now wait or never get content for Destiny when they pay the same price. Again, understand why it goes on because simply, you know, Sony is well, whether they help funding in the game or whether they're just paying a lot of money for marketing, it's helping Activision a lot. So I can understand why it goes on, but it still kind of sucks. But hey, it is what it is. Next up, and finally for the conference, Spider-Man PS4. Now this is, wow, this game really shocked me. I was a little bit worried here and there about the gameplay. We had heard nothing from Insomniac. And my God, did we hear something yesterday. Not only did it end the conference, but it ended the conference with gameplay. So that looked insane. The gameplay looked really fun. I've seen a few complaints about the quick time events. It reminds me quite a lot of the Arkham series, like Batman, Arkham Knight and stuff. It reminds me a lot of that. To me, that's perfect. That's what I wanted in a Spider-Man game. I didn't want this Activision sort of thing. I wanted Batman Arkham Knight, but with a cooler character, in my opinion, which is Spider-Man. So, yeah, the game looked crazy. If you haven't seen the gameplay, please go watch that gameplay because I was blown away. I thought that was so good. Like, I couldn't believe how good that game looked, how good it ran. And yeah, I just can't wait for this game, you know. Incredible gameplay. But that was it. A few negatives, in my opinion, from the conference. One, no Sucker Punch's IP. I was really excited to see Sucker Punch, what they've been working on. Bear in mind, it's been 3 years now. Unless they're going to show it, release it next year, you could be looking at a 5 to 6 year development cycle, which, again, sounds about similar to Horizon Zero Dawn, to be honest. So it's not all negative or it's not all doom and gloom because that game was absolutely superb. But yeah, it's a little bit disheartening not being able to see the game this year, or maybe we'll see it later in the year, but not to see it at E3. No From Software. That was a big kick in the teeth, to be honest, because I love From Software. I was so hyped for, you know, possibly a Bloodborne 2, possibly a new IP. That would have blown my mind all over the place because I'm a massive From Software fan. So, yeah, it kind of sucked not to see that. And no new IPs. Now, this was really surprising. Now, technically they did with the VR, but when we're talking about PlayStation, I'm more talking about the PS4. And to not have any new IPs is un-PlayStation-like. So, yeah, a little bit annoyed that wasn't there. The conference was a little bit short. They had problems with the sound and stuff. And yeah, it was a really good conference. I'd say it was a really good conference. They showed nothing but games. Like, there was only like a minute or two of speaking. So when you bear that in mind, and they showed nothing but games the whole conference, I can't call it bad. I can't call a conference that had Spider-Man, Days Gone, Shadow of the Colossus, Horizon, Uncharted, all these games. I can't call that a bad conference because it's not. I just feel when you compare this to 2015, particularly when you compare it to 2016, it wasn't to the same level of those two conferences. And I think that was a problem. I think with PlayStation gamers, it's kind of become the standard that we get like crazy conferences, and to not have that, in my opinion, was a reason that quite a few people were upset. But based on everything that they've shown, in my opinion, this was the best conference shown at E3 for many. I mean, I just listed everything, but the only one that really came close to this conference was actually Ubisoft. I think that Mario+Rabbids game looks crazy good. Far Cry Beyond Good and Evil 2. So they had a really solid conference as well. But I think PlayStation just got it for me. But previous years, they've absolutely blown everything out of the water. And I've got to be honest, this year, guys, not that it's been a bad E3. I mean, we've got games like Anthem. We've got games, more gameplay for Days Gone, Spider-Man, Mario+Rabbids RPG. Still got Nintendo to go. So it hasn't been a bad E3, but it really hasn't had that wow factor yet, in my humble opinion. But rambling aside, let me know your guys' thoughts. Are you like me? Did you think it was a good conference but could have been better? Were you blown away by it? Was like Shadow of the Colossus all you needed to really make it a great conference? Or were you really disappointed? Let me know down below. But as always, guys, this has been M&M Gaming. One more video to go. One more conference. Nintendo today should be up about 7 o'clock UK time. My video, it's only about half an hour long, but I have pretty high hopes for it. But anyway, guys, this has been M&M Gaming. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe if you're not already, and I'll catch you guys in a new video